What kind of legacy would you like to leave behind?
A legacy of a legacy of connecting their action with their belief with intention, to where whenever they do that, they find a level of self-satisfaction and ease with that. So when they worship Allah, they feel that there's no other way. To the degree they feel there's no other option. I think I'd like to leave that culture within people that, I have to worship Allah. Like, I don't see any other way to find answers in my life and to find a level of tranquility and self-sufficiency and all other characteristics of the human nature that need to be fulfilled, except through showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But that comes after who Allah is. So I think those two, knowing who God is and trying my best and going through the process, that lifelong process of showing that gratitude through the system that He has given.
So earlier we were talking about masculinity in the Muslim community. How important is that today?
I think once we discover who a man is, I can realistically say that in some platforms, and they'll be like, "Yes, what are you?" Because that's an issue. You have to do. You don't know who a man is, who a woman is. You do, but it's even a conversation that someone says that I choose to be a man today, or I am a different gender, or there are a number of letters behind my name, and that those letters are not indicative of my education. It's indicative of my desires, right? I feel, therefore I am. With masculinity, it's important because I think Muslims, whenever we talk about this, we need to start from the biological before the sociological, meaning that we talk about, the spiritual, then biological, then sociological, then psychological. So I think with masculinity and femininity, that needs to be reviewed, because a lot of times we'll start from the society and what society says, and whatever society says is what it is. But you'll find a spiritual person, they'll say, no, we look at the biological. Mm-hmm. We look at the chromosomes, that they're, 26, and there's the XY, and that's the male, and you can't change that. Well, where did that come from? The Muslim says, Allah. Allah has created you male. Allah has given you the fitrah. He's giving you that motherboard, and that's what makes you male, not your choice, right? So I think masculinity is crucial because in Islam, we believe that the man is the leader. He's the leader of society. He's the leader of the household. And that is what gives structure, not only to the household, but to the world. And without that, you won't have proper leadership. Hence, you'll find that the prophets were men. Right? That's number one. And as Muslims, a lot of these terminologies that deal with intersexual dynamics, men and women, who they are, what they are, why they are, we as Muslims need to own a lot of these terminologies that are being used nowadays, that are being kidnapped and taken by those that are on different orientations, if you will. Like, you find the Muslim that's afraid, the Muslim woman that's afraid